it was crazy because the draft process for me was.
Do you feel like agents will eventually start to become irrelevant?
If I was to tell some aspiring young athletes, what to do before the draft, because these teams not gonna look out for you. They gonna look out for themselves. If they gonna make a deal, it's gonna be to.
What are the qualifications for entering the draft? Do you have to be invited, or do you need to sign up? What does their process look like?
So.
Oh, you thought this was a game, huh? Oh, you slept, you missed the range, huh? I don't switch sides.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Brock, and this is the Brockast. I'm joined with my co-host with the most, Mr. Patty Pat Talk.
Yo, what's good?
Hey, we're talking about being successful for our aspiring athletes and our current pro athletes. Hosted by yours truly, Mr. Mike Brockast, first round pick, 11-year vet. We're talking about the real stories, real strategies, and real struggles on and off the field. Today's sponsors are Brock Brand Clothing. Be ready, opportunity comes knocking. And Ready Sports Drink. You want something great while you hydrate? Try Ready Sports Drink.
This show is about more than just stats and contracts. It's about the full journey and business moves that you need to make to help build your legacy when the lights go out.
But if you didn't know, this is the NFL draft. This is a very special week for a bunch of guys leaving college, going into the pros, trying to make their claim to fame, and there's a bunch of new rooks ready to conquer the field. So I'm going to give you the inside scoop on everything draft before and after.
So let's get into it, Mike. We got a ton of questions, some from fans, some that we didn't kind of thought about. So question number one, what questions should aspiring athletes be asking right now? Like as far as like talking to different coaches, different staff members and stuff like that with the draft process?
Man, it was crazy because the draft process for me was surreal because I was living it out, but I was trying to make sure I was on my P's and Q's the whole time because obviously going into the draft, like all these teams are looking up your background, they're looking up your social medias, they're looking up all the little things that you would think that you could hide. The NFL is finding them. So for me, if I was to tell some aspiring young athletes, what to do before the draft, obviously it's clean your social medias because how many times have we seen guys get dinged or knocked down the draft board?
Listen,
because
I'm gonna tell y'all right now,
social media,
you better,
bruh.
because Malika Andrews will pull it up,
bruh. I'm telling you, bruh. So delete all your old social media, all the stuff that you was wilding out and saying. Delete all that stuff, and then secondly, I would say, when it comes to these coaches, like, you got to have confidence in yourself. You got to have confidence in your skills, first of all, but, confidence in yourself, who you are as a person, who you are as a man. So for me, it's definitely about putting your best foot forward because you're showing these teams like, hey, this is why you're going to be paying me all these millions,
But this is the thing, is like I'm saying. So obviously, media is going to ask y'all a ton of questions, right?
Right.
Coaches are going to ask y'all questions.
Right.
Like when you were in those meetings, did you ever ask any coaches questions like, hey, man, what scheme am I going to be put in, stuff like that? Because I don't want to just be drafted and end up in a situation where I'm not going to flourish.
Man, I'm be honest with you. It wasn't really, at that point, bro, I was just so hungry to get in the NFL. It really didn't matter to me, bro. Like, I felt like I had the foundation to play anything. Like, I was tall enough to play outside. I was strong enough to play inside as far as nose tackle, things like that. My arms were long enough to get separation in the run game, things like that. So for me, I didn't really care. I didn't really go in asking any questions. I was a little young going into the draft. So when I was drafted, I was like, I think I just turned 20 or just turned 21. So a lot of coaches probably were going into it like, man, this guy's young. Does he have a good head on his shoulders? Like, is he, responsible? Because when you think about, giving millions of dollars to a 20-year-old, you don't know what they gonna do. So I definitely knew that's what they were thinking.
See, that's crazy now, bro, because it's different because of NIL now. So kids are going into the league with millions of dollars already. So
it's
just
crazy.
hearing it how it was back then is a total different insight.
Boys are not that they aren't hungry. I think it's the nature of the beast. Like, you already have money, so you probably already been talking to people about what to do with your money. How to spend your money. Hopefully, if you got the right people around you, you got a financial advisor or somebody helping you just manage the finances that you do have now. But I mean, like when I was going into the league, I ain't had no money, so it wasn't no options. I already had money. I can wait it out. Nah, like I was broke, so this was my only plan. For me leaving college.
Yeah.
So I had to make do and make it work.
So seeing how everything has changed from when you got to college, from when you were in college going to the league, and how kids are getting all these NILs and stuff like that, and having so much money and going to the league already, do you feel like, because we starting to see the no agent thing, right?
Right.
Where players are not having agents, and they still getting their contracts and stuff worked out. So how do you feel? Do you feel like agents will eventually start to become irrelevant?
I think so. I mean, I play the fences because sometimes you need guidance. You don't know how this game works. You get up here, you think, oh man, I played college football. Like, it's the same thing. Like, no, it's a different beast. Like, it's a real business. Like, it's no more fun. It's a no fun league. It's an NFL. So for me, I felt like a lot of guys get into this and don't really know how to kind of handle the league. So you need that guidance. But what agents were used for back in the past was you needed some front money, you needed some money to get you a car, or you needed some money to get an apartment.
You got money now.
You got money now.
You ain't got. You don't have to pay for my training.
Exactly.
You don't have to pay for nothing. I got that.
Exactly. But you still need somebody going in there and negotiating your deals. If it's not an agent, it's a lawyer. But you need a lawyer that understands some type of sports contracts. You do, because these teams not gonna look out for you. They gonna look out for themselves. If they gonna make a deal, it's gonna be for the betterment of the business. It's not gonna be for the betterment of the player. So when you're going into a situation like this, you definitely have to have some knowledge about what's going on.
Yeah, and I feel like having an agent, it kind of takes off a lot of stress, or some type of representation. It takes out a lot of stress from you already dealing with the draft, or you trying to do off-season workouts and stuff like that, and you don't have, man, that's something I ain't got to worry about.
Right.
Look, bro, if this is the number that we want, I need you to work your magic and get me to that point. So, like
you said, I mean, I didn't even think about that aspect. You think about all the calls you about to be getting. People want to talk to you, your family members, people outsource want to talk to you. You need like a central, system or a central person of contact, so everybody can call, and you don't want it to be you. So,
but what about having like
your moms or something like that?
Like pros and cons of somebody having your
pros and cons of somebody having your phone number?
No, somebody in your family representing you.
It's tough because they don't know. You don't know if they're professional enough. A lot of people, you see guy Jaden Daniels, he uses his mom and things like that. Lamar Jackson, but some people mom ain't educated enough to really represent them, in that state. So
you feel like just because y'all see somebody else doing it,
right? Not everybody can do it.
Mama, you can't. I'm sorry, mama. We got to get an agent.
Not everybody can do it. Let's be real, man. Not being an agent is tough.
What are the So here's another question. What are the qualifications for entering the draft? Do you have to be invited, or do you need to sign up? What does their process look like?
So you definitely have to be invited. It was crazy because when I was invited, I didn't know I was getting drafted first round. I didn't. It was just like it was an opportunity to go to New York, something I've never done before, and I wanted to take my mom's and my grandmother. While she was living, and I was like, yeah, come on, so I took Granny, took Mama out to New York. I didn't know if I was getting drafted in the first round. I didn't, and luckily blessed, I got drafted, but it didn't matter to me. I was going no matter what. That's the experience you can't turn down.
But this is what I'm saying. So like, you see people say, "Oh, I'm entering the draft," right? So you just tell you, hey, I'm entering the draft. Like, who do you tell?
Oh man, so as far as like leaving college, going into the draft, so you let them know that you are entering the draft. You let the school know, hey, let the NFL know I'm entering the draft. I want to put my grade in. So what you do is you put this grade in. So this is everybody's attributes, size, what you did in college and things like that. So you send that into the NFL. The NFL then sends you back a grade which says, hey, we looked at your tape, we looked at your size and height. Off the top of our head, if we want to make a rough estimate, you'll be going in, top, low first, second round, just based off your, the stuff that we have here. but they don't know for sure. They just giving you a grade of what they think. Then you get that grade back, and you can decide at that point, like, hey, if you get a grade back and it says, 7-round undrafted, you're like, okay, maybe I want to stay in college. But if you get one that says, top 10 first-round pick or whatever, you like, oh yeah, I need to leave and take advantage of that, because you don't never know. This game is 100% injury sport.
So you can declare for the draft, but still go back to school.
You can declare, but you can't go all the way through with that process.
Okay, I got you. So next question is. Okay, so look, so now that we talked about that, so kids in college, right? I'm set to say my sophomore year, right? This is my sophomore year, right? Okay. I feel like a sophomore year is kind of
just a regular sophomore, not a red shirt sophomore.
Not a red shirt. So your sophomore year, right? And I'm in college. My freshman year, I didn't get no burn. I probably played a little bit of special teams, but now it's my sophomore, my off season going into my junior year, right? Yeah. Talk about something that a lot of people like mentally need to work on, or physically, or what I'm saying, kind of getting ready for I feel like your junior year is the most important, because that's you can go to the draft, or you can get ready to become a senior, starter, whatever. Your life can be changed from your junior year in high school and in college.
Yeah, I think for me, what I did was that redshirt sophomore year for me. I was already locked in. I kind of had it on my mind, like, hey, if I can get, some burn this year, we might be able to go to the draft. This is before, I played that season. We went to the championship and all that. So, I'm thinking like, man, I need to be locked in, because this is my eligibility year. No, guys know that for sure. Yeah. Like, okay, you have 3 years of eligibility before you can declare for the draft. So guys know that already going in. A lot of the times, guys talk about, man, I'm gonna go 3 and done, but it's really hard to do that. Me on the other hand, I was speaking it into existence, and it happened. So, but
not everybody is 6'6" though. So.
Not everybody's 6'6". I was 320 pounds at the time, probably yoked up with LSU protein powder. You know what I mean? So I was a different beast back in the day.
All right. So during the draft process, right? How do you feel about people like staying home or going? Even if you get invited or whatever. Do you feel like you should go in a location where it's televised, stay at home with your family, stuff like that? Well, like, what's your take on?
I don't know, man. It depends on what you want. Me, I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to go to New York. I've never been to New York, but if you are from New York and you've seen the stage or whatever, you like, man, I'm gonna just sit at home. So I understand why guys want to just chill at home, take the pressure off. You don't have to wear a suit and be suited and booted for the whole ordeal. Because when you get drafted, after you get drafted, you're leaving the next day. So you flying straight from New York to wherever you going. Me, I was going to St. Louis. If somebody was going to a California team, the 49ers, they would have to leave from New York that morning and go to San Fran. So if you wanted to stay centrally located, maybe a Dallas area, it'll make some sense to not go to the draft.
I feel like if I'm getting drafted, me personally, I'm at the crib with the family. I'm going to invite some of the homies, some people I really, that's been down since day one. I'm going to let everybody have this moment, right?
Yeah.
Don't listen. Let me go and get through my first year, because they're gonna be asking for some money.
Oh, they're gonna be asking for money.
Bro, I gave y'all moment. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let me get through my first year. Let me, get everybody settled, get my immediate family out the way. But I would rather have that draft process with my immediate family, and then some of the homies and stuff like
with
that.
With the ESPN.
I don't give a damn who there. ESPN, whatever. We there. We vibing out. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't want to have no CD Lamb moment either. So,
bruh, that CD. We ain't gonna talk about that CD Lamb.
Shout out CD Lamb, though, bro.
The way he grabbed that phone was so player. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Okay, so during the draft process, like, so you know what I'm saying? You was in New York, right?
Yeah,
so you sitting at the table or whatever. Like, do you get certain like different phone calls from teams and stuff like that? Like, oh shit, it's my turn. Yeah. And then they don't pick you, and you like, bro, what y'all call for, bro?
It's not that. It's the random calls that's calling you during that time.
Oh,
that's what really gets you, because it's like, you don't know what phone number calling you.
Yeah.
You know, so it can be a spam number, and you like, oh, it might be somebody, you know, trying to draft me. Then you pick it up, it's like, oh yeah, this is a bill collector. You like, bro, you didn't waste.
Yeah.
You got me all hype. You know what I mean? And this ain't even that. So I turned my phone off. I was like, hey, if you need anything, call my agent. He'll hand me the phone, but don't call my phone. Like I told everybody, don't call my phone. I don't even want to hear from nobody.
So a team call you, right, and they say, hey man, we you know, we got next pick. We want to draft you. Are you able to be like, nah, bro, I don't want to play for y'all? Like, are you able to decline?
I've never seen somebody decline.
No, but I'm just saying, are you able to decline?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't try it, but I mean, I don't know.
We seen primetime. Listen, bro, if y'all want to draft, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna ask for so much money, you gonna have to put me on layaway. So you kind of like, and then you see the was it Eli Manning as well?
Eli Manning, yeah. Eli.
So
Manning
I feel like you might be able to bogart.
You might be able to bogart. You definitely have to have somebody in your corner that know the system.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can't just say, you know, hey man, I ain't doing it. You got to know. You got to have your daddy. Got to be Dion. Let's be real. Your daddy got to be Dion. So you know, so
or Archman
or Archman. Yeah. You know what I mean? For you make some pool like that. So to be real with you, I don't see a lot of guys doing that because this is their dream. They don't really care where they play. But if you got enough, you know, kahunas to tell a team no,
bro. But I'm saying you done seen people when they get drafted to a team and they walk up there and they like, damn. Fuck it, like you know what I'm saying? I'm in the league.
This your dream. You better just be like, shit, I'm going to make the best of this opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of going up there, man, I want to play for this team. And you playing in the NFL. It don't matter what team you playing for.
Okay, so what do you do? Say we done seen people get invited, right? And then they don't get drafted. Like, so what do you do then? Like, how, like,
man, that sucks because, you know, you just sitting there in that room. You know, you constantly going down the draft board because you wouldn't be in there if you wasn't no high pick or whatever, or anybody thought you were a high pick. And then all of a sudden you just keep dwindling. Your mama covering your face. And it's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing, bro. That situation, that's a sucky situation. I ain't gonna lie.
I would be hot. I mean, I would feel the same way Lamar Jackson did. When he fell to the Ravens at, what is it, 32?
Yeah.
In the first round. You know, still a first round draft pick, but he was supposed to go way higher than that. And you see,
he went all the way to 32. Yeah.
You know, and he promised Baltimore. He
just won a Heisman, so you can understand why a guy like that would be hot in that situation.
Yep. So what are some things you should do to prepare yourself? Like on your officials, like when you officially sign for, like when they fly you out, do you sign that next day or what? Like when do you sign?
You don't sign. A lot of people have that misconception of, oh man, as soon as you get drafted, you getting a check. No, you get drafted, you go with the team, you go see the team or whatever, and they might pay you after, you know, they might pay you a little money up front, you know, to your signing bonus or whatever. That might get signed, you know, 3-4 weeks from the draft. So
you still broke.
Yeah, you still broke for a little minute. You still broke for a little minute. To be. Yeah. You know the money coming, but it ain't hit your account yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? So a lot of guys think, well, a lot of family members, let's be real, think as soon as we get drafted, they giving us the money in the back in the backstage. Yeah. No, it don't work like that at all.
So I'm saying, was you checking it? Like, how long were you checking your account? You just
you know you was checking that account. You definitely looking for that account. Hey, every morning, hey, boom. I remember mine's hit, and I wasn't really looking for. I knew it would hit around that time because they like end of March or whatever, and I was like, man, okay, I ain't gonna look for it. But when that day it did hit, I was like, bruh, look at this. Like, I've never seen this much money.
It was your signing bonus?
Yeah, my signing bonus. So, you know, I'm looking at it. Shit, that shit, 7 figures. You know what I mean? Yeah. You like, oh.
I ain't never seen this.
I ain't never seen
this. Let me refresh my shit.
You know what I mean? Life's changed, bro.
So, okay, so you get your money or whatever. Like, now what do? You get your money. What's the first thing you went and bought?
First thing I bought, I don't know what was the first thing I bought. It was either a vehicle because I didn't have a ride at that time, or my mom's house. But one of them was the first thing because I needed something to ride in. But mom's needed, you know, a place to stay. Mom's, my siblings, needed a place to stay. So that was like my next immediate thing, is to get them out of the apartment that they were staying in and move them into a house that they can call their own.
Okay, I got you. That's cool. So what about those guys who don't get drafted, right? You got guys who are, you projected to be a 3rd round, 4th round pick, whatever.
Right.
You know, they at the crib, they got the party going, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, the camera, they even have, sometimes they have ESPN and they don't get drafted. Like, so what's next? Like, what I don't know if you know what that process is, but
I don't know what that process is. I mean, I hung around a lot of like undrafted 7th round, 6th round draft picks just based on the strength of them being.
Do they still like? Do you wait on phone? You just randomly just waiting on a phone call?
Your agent. Going back to
that's
your
where
agent
come in.
You need an agent. So going back to your agent will probably start receiving calls or calling people about you.
Yeah.
You know, so and so is still on the board. A free agent. Give him a try, whatever. So that's when your agent goes to work. If you have not been drafted after the draft and you have an agent, that's his time to go to work for you.
Oh, okay, I got you. So what do you think should be the first? I didn't got drafted. I didn't flew out to the team. I'm meeting with everybody.
Yeah.
What do you think is the first thing you should do when you get back to your room? After you've been drafted, you met with your team, everything. And you sitting in your room now, what's the first thing you do?
You're probably just laying down, bro, because people don't realize like how much work that draft process is, because you just got finished playing a season. People don't think about that.
Yeah.
You just got finished playing a season of college football.
And you got ready for your pro day.
For me, I played in a championship game. Game goes into, still working out, going ready for the combine.
Yeah.
I'm working out for the combine at this point. Work out for the combine, do all your draft visits, all of this, You get to the draft, you finally get drafted, then you fly to your team and you flying here, flying there. I swear, the first thing you want to do once you feel you get drafted, you just want to relax. Like you just want to lay down because it's like over. Like the process of getting drafted is over.
Yeah.
Even though you're going into your career, but the process of getting drafted is over. You just want to lay down, bro. I think any person would agree with me, or that has been drafted or went through that process. First thing you want to do is go to sleep because it's over. That process is over. You know where you at now.
All right, so give us some need to know details on because obviously you didn't get drafted to Houston, so you went somewhere else. So some need to know details on how to get ready on transitioning from being probably back in your hometown and now you're going to be living in another state. While you doing your NFL fulfilling your NFL contract.
Man, I don't know. You got two different ways of looking at it, because a lot of guys you have some guys who buy houses, and you got some guys who like, man, this ain't where I'm living, staying at, so
I'm gonna just rent something.
I'm gonna rent something for 6 months, or I'm gonna rent something real cheap, so when I'm going back home, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So you can go two either ways. I was like the rent person for my first couple of years, and because it always feels like soon as you buy a house, you either get traded or something happens, the team moves. Anytime you buy a house, I feel like that happens. So for me, I was trying to avoid that for my first couple of years. And then when I bought my first house in the NFL, I get traded the next season. So that's why I'm like, man, this buying a house ain't worth it, man. Just rent. You don't know where you go. Rent cheap as much as possible. I don't want to say cheap. Let's say average. Rent average. Find a nice place where you close to the facility. Don't be trying to live all the way 1,000 miles away from the facility. Be close to the facility, because you gonna be there every day. You know what I mean? You got to show up to that mug every day, early in the morning, and you gonna be leaving late. So find somewhere close to the facility, and man, have your. I don't want to say be open to anything happening, but you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know where they gonna put you. You don't know where they gonna play you. Yeah, you got drafted at D tackle, but you don't know if you gonna play nose tackle, 3 technique. So man, just be ready to buy into whatever system you playing for, and be ready to play.
All right, bro. Some good stuff. Hopefully, somebody can see this and then they're like, damn, bro. There's some good insight on being drafted and stuff like that. So let's move on to talk about some guys from this year's draft.
Yeah.
Some D linemen, man. I'm not sure if you kind of been paying attention to.
Man, I've been watching a couple of guys. You know, the Michigan guys have been lighting it up. But they've shown my guy Mason Graham love. They've been showing him no love.
So they got him ranked as number 2.
They got him ranked as number 2, but it was a statement. Somebody was like, "Man, please don't draft Mason Graham." I'm like, damn, like I felt like he was a solid player, but they were saying his freshman year was cracked out, and then it kind of tendered off towards the end of his career. But I still feel like he's one of the top tackles. They also have another guy that plays for Michigan, number 78. I forgot his name.
Derek. They got another guy from Michigan, Kenneth Grant.
There we go, Kenneth Grant. He's also, he has a lot of upside. At D tackle, he's very, he's fast off the ball, quick, twitchy. And he's ferocious. He's one of them D tackles. Like he couldn't play nothing else but D tackle.
The guy who I like on the edge is James Pierce from Tennessee.
Okay,
bro. He jumped off just watching him, because obviously we watch SEC football. Just seeing how good damn, bro, who is that? Mm-hmm. He stood out a lot on that Tennessee defense, bro. It seemed like he was always in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
Penn State. What's the guy?
Man, come on, bro. Listen, bro. That's like almost like picking Michael Jordan, bro. Abdul Carter. Come on, bro.
But I hate how they make Penn State D lineman or a linebacker that Penn State guy just like, oh man, this guy.
Think about it, bro. They had LeVar Arrington.
Yes.
Then you get Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And now you got Abdul Carter, bro.
You had before Michael Parsons, it was another linebacker. What is his name? Number 11. Oh, I forgot his name. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. I just know numbers. But yeah, he was drafted before Michael Parsons. He was an elite linebacker as well, number 11. I don't know. They got like a number 11 thing at Penn State. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this year's draft, man. A lot of defensive tackles, lot of defensive linemen. Are highly ranked. So this is a big D-line heavy, O-line heavy draft.
So look, I'm gonna give you. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you height and sizes, right? Okay. And then you tell me.
What he play?
Yeah, you tell me what's gonna be 1 through. You rank them 1 through 5.
Okay, talk to me.
We're gonna go 6'6", 290. You got to pick 5 through 1. Just a random number.
290. I'm gonna go 2.
Okay, 6'5", 265.
I'm gonna go 3. That's 3.
Okay, we're gonna go 6'3", 305.
4.
6'3", 259.
I'm gonna go 5 right there.
Ooh, so look, you just picked 5, right? 5. You put Abdul Carter at 5.
Oh, I forgot he was light. 259. That's crazy. For me, man, I'm not gonna say real, man, but a real size for a D tackle like 290, 300. That's just me.
See, so okay, so looking at
then I can't say that because AD played at 260 something, 250 something. So he different.
See, people don't understand, bro. Like seeing Aaron, like yes, he is a large human being. But like muscular wise, but like body mass size, he's not a big dude.
Yeah.
But when you see me, like, bro, how is he dominating all these big ass, bro? And that just lets you know how strong and quick that man is, bro. AD say he's 6'2", 6'3", man. He probably 6. He probably right at 6 feet.
Don't let him see this. Don't let him see
5'11", 6 feet even, bro.
He gonna kick your ass.
He probably gonna shake the shit out of me, bro. Listen, AD, listen, man. Let me make it, man. When we come back to your house, man, invite us back. But yeah, bro. When I'm looking at the height and size of these guys, Pauls, 6. We got. I'm gonna give you the 1 through 10. 6'3", 259. Ran a 4.48.
Yeah.
6'3", 220.
4.4. Ooh.
6'3", 220 D tackle. 6'6", 290. Ran a 4.5. 6'5", 265, ran a 4.7. 6'3", 305, ran a 4.9.
Bro, the way these boys running in the foes right now is crazy.
6'5", 243, 4.47.
4.47 at a defensive
When you think about that, bro,
line.
and you watch the draft and you see these running backs running 4.5, 4.6, 4.4, it's like, bro, you got D tackles, D ends running that, bro.
You see a running back. That's why I was asking you, like, is a 4.5 good? And you was like, you know.
For a running back, it used to be.
It used to be. Now you got D tackles running 4.4s.
Man, and you see 1 or 2 running backs that crack the 4.3 code.
Most of them running 4.5.
4.4, 4.5, bro.
You was like, man, that's good. I'm like, shit.
But then when you look, damn, that's crazy.
Like,
looking at what the D linemen running D ends, bro.
They hawking them running back down.
The thing is, bro, this is something we also talked about. It don't matter how fast you run if you can't set that edge.
Yeah.
When they run right at you, that's all that matters.
When you holding that motherfucker,
when you can set
collapse.
Yep. But that's what's glorified now is getting to the quarterback.
That's all. They don't even care about run plays no more. If a running back, breaking
run,
it's like, oh man, great blocking.
The
they don't focus on the D lineman getting bodied or slammed.
We're gonna find linebackers that can play sideline to sideline.
And we're gonna start watching film on this podcast, and we're gonna start pointing out all the bullshit that people be having. So over the weekend, I think last week, it was towards the end of last week, a very tragic incident happened that hit the LSU community really, really hard. The receiver, number 2 for the LSU for these past couple of years, Connor Lacey, he ended up taking his own life, which is totally unfortunate and is an unforeseen event. But that got me to really thinking about it. It really inspired me to think about like mentorship, like what kind of guidance, these guys have, especially leaving from high school, college, and going on into the league. Because it's a lot of, when you kind of peel the onion layers off of this, you kind of see like, man, this guy had a pretty good support system, bro. But it's truly about us as men being vulnerable. You know what I mean? If you're not out there telling, guys, you going through something, telling your boys or whoever you vent to that you're going through something, and you keeping that all in, man, you can end up hurting yourself and doing more damage to yourself than actually you feel like, oh man, I'm toughing through this. But man, you really need to, and this is me talking to myself and to all you viewers, man. We have to learn how to be vulnerable in situations where we feel like we have to tough things out, like being vulnerable, being transparent about all, any issues that you're going through. Like, because I see this young man, I'm like, yes, he was going through a really serious case where, I think, after the case and people looking at it, he was looking at the wreck. He didn't hit nobody.
Yeah, so and that was another thing that his agent talked about, that he wasn't even the one who caused it. So
right.
It was just a lot of cyberbullying on social media. People were screwing up stuff and just saying different things that they really didn't know, the full gist of the story. And then on top of that, the NFL revoked his invitation. So it was just like a lot of stuff that he had going against him.
Right.
And it's probably like, damn, man, like I can't win. Like,
right.
He probably felt like my dream is being taken away from me now.
Absolutely.
And then
based on social media and just the media in
just
itself,
just hearing a lot of stuff, because as a young a child, like I'm gonna say he's still a child because he was young. It's hard to get off of social media and not want to read what people are saying about you, because as a human being, you're like, damn, why are you people talking about me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all was just in love with me when I was at LSU, but now instead of y'all having my back, everybody turned their back against him.
Absolutely.
And now it's men's mental health in general is something that we really don't. We hear about it, but it's like, as a man, we got to be tough, right?
Right.
Because if, excuse me, we show our feelings, it's like we feel weak. Like, oh, now I'm being too vulnerable. I'm weak. That's little girl stuff. Like, that's women do that. No, man. If you going through something and you need to talk to somebody, bro, it's reach out to somebody, man. Yeah. And obviously, the social media stuff, it's probably hard to get off of, but that's something you just gonna have to cut off like entirely in its entirety. Because
it's what Travis Hunter did after this situation.
But because the people on the internet, these keyboard work, they're gonna say the nastiest, meanest things because they might be going through something in their life, and I don't want to see you doing better than me.
Right.
Especially if you know what I'm saying, you allegedly supposedly kill somebody. That's just what they saying, but they don't know the entire truth. So, and then you got the NFL revoking your invitation. Like, it's just so much stuff probably built up, and he got into it with a family member.
Yeah.
Just did, like, everything was just boiling over, man. And he unfortunately, he took his life. He just couldn't deal with it no more.
Man, and it's like, we always look at a situation like that and like, damn, I wonder was he giving his flowers while he was able to smell them? You know what I mean? Like, did he know that, people loved him? Did he know that people wanted to see him do good for himself? Did he know that there was a rainbow on the other side of this, on the other side of this case? Even though you feel like, oh, I'm going through a storm, there's, sunshine and rainbows after that. And I don't know, man. Sometimes when you, like you said, when you feel like the world is against you and you feel like there's no other way out, man, I just want to say here, that's not the way. That's not the way out.
You see all these players who he had a relationship with, how much it affected them, man.
Right.
Outside of football. And it was guys from different teams that he had good relationships with.
Right.
It was one guy in particular, him and I followed each other, Kobe Bryant, the cornerback from Kansas. He posted a heartfelt story about him and Kyron. So, man, it's just such a tragedy to see, man, people take their lives and having to deal with. You can't even imagine what he was dealing with, man.
Right. So for those who out there who are feeling the stress of just life and life be lifing sometimes, man, talk to somebody, be vulnerable, be open, get that stuff off your chest so you can be a better person. If you enjoyed this video and it resonated with your spirit, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget to comment down below with any thoughts that you guys have. And also, go follow us at The Brockast on Instagram and also Brock Brand Clothing.
Yes, sir. Peace.